Genghis Khan was a Mongolian warrior and ruler and one of the most famous conquerors of history. He was born in 1162, near Lake Baikal, Mongolia. He consolidated tribes into a unified Mongolia and then extended his empire across Asia to the Adriatic Sea. Genghis Khan was a brilliant warrior and king who united all the Mongolian nomadic tribes under his control in a strict military state after beginning his rule in obscurity and insignificance. A series of campaigns of pillage and conquest that eventually took the Mongol armies as far as the Adriatic Sea in one direction and the Pacific coast of China in the other led to the establishment of the Great Mongol Empire. He then turned his attention to the settled peoples outside the boundaries of his nomadic realm. Only non-Mongol sources, with the exception of the saga-like secret history of the Mongols, have information that is close to synchronous with Genghis Khan's life. Nearly all authors, including those who served the Mongols, have focused on the immense destruction brought on by their invasions. One Arab historian directly said that the thought of them horrified him. The 13th century chronicler Matthew Paris, who lived outside the Mongol realm and relied on second-hand reports, described them as a detestable nation of Satan that poured out like devils from Tartarus so that they are rightly called Tartars. Even though his generals usually worked independently, without direct command, Genghis Khan must share the reputation of his people as the creator of the Mongol nation, the founder of the Mongol army, and the brains behind their campaigns. It would be incorrect to interpret the Mongol campaigns as accidental raids by bands of roving barbarians. For the birth of Genghis Khan, also known as Temujin or Temujin, named after a ruler who was vanquished by his father, Yasugei, at the time Temujin was born, various dates are recorded. Temujin's early life's chronology is unknown. He could have been born in 1155, 1162, which is the preferred year in Mongolia today, or 1167. His birth was considered lucky because he was born with a blood clot in his hand, according to mythology. Temujin defeated the Merkit with the aid of strong friends and his own army, using a tactic he often used to snuff out potential future uprisings. Years later, before approaching China, he would first make sure that no nomad commander survived to stab him in the back. He endeavored never to leave an adversary in his rear. He treated the Jurchen clan's nobility similarly not long after the Merkit was destroyed. In the year 1206, when the Mongols were finally prepared to venture beyond the steppe, was a turning point in both their own history and the history of the entire world. Even Mongolia itself changed. The small-scale raids and tribal disputes were history. As far as can be inferred from the contradictory evidence, Genghis Khan had a complicated personality. He was extremely physically strong, tenacious, and had an unbreakable will. He was not stubborn and was open to suggestions from others, including his mothers and wife. He was not petty, but he was deceptive. He understood the significance of loyalty, unlike Jamuka or Togro. He would treat his enemies unkindly if they betrayed his lords, but he would also take advantage of their betrayal. His military victories were mostly attributed to organization, discipline, mobility, and ruthlessness of purpose. He frequently used the terror that followed mass killings of conquered populations. Genghis Khan made enormous advancements. He brought all the nomadic tribes together, and he used smaller forces to fight strong empires like Khwarezm and the even more dominant Jin Empire. He didn't exhaust his people, though. Genghis Khan was a Mongol ruler who conquered most of Asia and founded the largest contiguous empire in history. He is known for his military prowess, brutality, and wisdom. Some of his quotes reflect his views on war, justice, unity, and leadership. Here are some of his famous quotes. "Conquer your fear, and you will conquer your enemy. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. Conquering the world on horseback is easy, it is dismounting and governing that is hard. An action committed in anger is an action doomed to failure. A man's greatest joy is crushing his enemies.